Om Shanti. Welcome all to the Values for Life series. And before we start, let us just spend 1 minute of silence, remembering the Supreme Being, the Divine, to invoke Him for giving us success in the Value series program. So just we'll spend 1 minute of silence. So, welcome once again. At the outset, let me thank immensely Sister Claudia from Vancouver for providing us this Zoom platform. So the entire Vancouver family, thanks to all of them, and also to Dr. Ashok Mehta, who's the national coordinator of the Vihasa program. Thanks for allowing him us to use the Vihasa portal to carry on this series. So let me just at the moment ask Prabha's sister, to who is basically a bank manager from Delhi, ask her to please present a bouquet of flowers and welcome Usha Didi. So over to Sister Prabha.
Uh, Om Shanti Didi, a very heartiest, loveful welcome to our program.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Prabha, sister. So, as all of you know, that it's Guru Nanak Jayanti tomorrow being celebrated worldwide. And you know, Guru Nanak was an epitome of sacrifice and renunciation. I still very distinctly remember this story. Once he was at the Modi Khana, which is the place where people, it was the shop of the father where he was asked to sell some things. And he was counting a few coins, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, Tera, when it reached Tera, in Hindi we call it Tera, 11, 12, 13, he got stuck over there. And then he was just saying Tera hi Tera, Tera hi Tera. So which shows he really was an epitome, a symbol of renunciation. And he just was giving off to other people without even charging them. So that shows how Guru Nanak was. And we can all relate to these stories. So without taking much of your time, I would now want to invite Usha Didi. And before I do that, I would like to just tell you a bit about her. I'm sure Usha Didi is known to all of you, but we have new participants in the audience. So I would briefly introduce her. She was born in Africa in 1970, and she came into contact with Brahma Kumaris in 1974, and she dedicated her life in 1980. At present, she is at the global headquarters in Mount Abu. She is a senior Raj Yoga meditation teacher. She also is a management trainer, spiritual counselor, and a motivational speaker. She has authored 2 books. I'm sure all of you know those: SML, the Self-Managing Leadership, and Towards Spirituality. In Hindi, we call it Adhyatmikta Ki Or. These 2 books are the best sellers. She is also very well known for the 1985 United Nations International Year, which was the Bharat Unity Youth March year, where she took active participation in the same. She also is done a lot of presentations in the corporate industries, corporate organizations, and she has been awarded and honored with many awards, but let me just tell you a few of them. The Hall of Fame Award, which was awarded by the Public Relations Council of India in 2012. Recently, she was invited by the Thailand government and given the Moral Award in 2019, and also the prestigious award of 2019 September, which was in Los Angeles. The award is called God. Let me tell you what this GOD stands for. It was the Global Order of Dignitaries. It was given by the Princes of Philippines. And all of us know how Usha Didi really gets a good blend of spirituality into modern practice. You know, she's also very well known for Ramayana and Mahabharata, because these are the two sort of we call Bibles in India, and how she correlates all those and gives them a spiritual touch, tells us what is the spiritual significance of Gita, what is the spiritual significance of Ramayana. So with this brief introduction, I would pass on it to her. And also one more thing for the participants who are joining. you all feel free to ask questions, but that will only happen. You can type it in the chat box after 35-40 minutes when Usha Didi finishes. Then we'll open the chat box for questions. So with this brief introduction, over to Usha Didi, and we are covering today on sacrifice and renunciation. Thank you once again.
Om Shanti. Divine brothers and sisters, welcome to this beautiful program that has been organized by Manoj Bhai and his team within India and abroad. It's a pleasure for me to be with you all and speak on this subject of sacrifice and renunciation. As he rightly mentioned, tomorrow is Guru Nanak Jayanti, the Prakash Parab, which is known and very well celebrated by all the Sikh community around the world. And it is like a great event for all of them. Because last year I was invited by a group of the university, the Guru Nanak University in Amritsar, as a special speaker to speak on Prakash Parab. And that was the time. Together with me on the stage was His Excellence, His Holiness Dalai Lama Ji, and many other representatives from different fields and different communities who were also there to mark this special event. And we all know that the Sikh community has done a lot of sacrifice, not just for their community, but for Hinduism also, and for in India or for Bharat also. And when I say that, just as Guru Nanak had sacrificed his complete life for the progress and for benevolence of all the Sikh community brothers and sisters. But the greatest sacrifice which was done by Guru Gobind Singh, and that was when his two sons were being caught by the Mughal Empire at that time, and they asked them to adopt the Islam religion, which these two small young boys did not accept. And so they were said that if you would not accept the Islam religion, then we'll have you fixed in the wall that was being built. So both the children were like lively. They were being stuck in those things, what you call as the wall. And they gave up their life. So sacrifice, and the difference between sacrifice and renunciation. Sacrifice is where a person does not hesitate to sacrifice his life also. And especially for the community, for the entire nation, that is sacrifice. More at a physical level, gross level. But renunciation is at a very subtle level, I would say. And therefore, when Shiv Baba came to this earth, he also established a sacrificial fire. And in this sacrificial fire, he asked everyone to sacrifice their mind, body, and wealth. Tan, man, and dhan. And Brahma Baba was number one to sacrifice his entire life with mind, body, wealth, with all his bodily relationships, and complete I and mine. He sacrificed in this great sacrificial fire for world upliftment, for world benevolence, for benefiting the entire world. For a special purpose, to establish a new world order, I would say. And the sacrifice which Brahma Baba did, I think nobody else. Everyone is trying to put their footsteps in Baba's footsteps, but still nobody has been able to do at that level. Mateshwari Jagdamba Saraswati also sacrificed her life completely with mind, body, wealth, and everything, with the feeling of sacrificing I and mine also. And we see that the Dadis, they follow in that line. So that was sacrifice. And this is how this spiritual university came into existence, with a very firm, strong foundation. And after that, Baba tells us to renunciate, become true renunciates. And what does he mean by becoming true renunciates? Because it is always said that on the basis of your renunciation, the line of fortune is drawn. As it is said, Tyag se bhagya. Normally it is said that according to the karma you do, the karma gives you the fortune. So now, first of all, we have to think, is it karma that gives us the fortune? Elevated karma that gives us the fortune? Or is the fortune created on the basis of renunciation? This is a big question that came into my mind. And then I realized, on the basis of what Baba has said, that actually it is on the basis of karma, but if there is the feeling of renunciation, true renunciation in that karma, renunciation of the feeling of I and mine, when this consciousness is also renounced while doing any karma, elevated karma, not even this feeling that I have done, then that makes the line of fortune like it shoots up to great height. And we are able to have a very clear line of fortune without any sort of obstacles or hindrances in it. So that is what Baba said. Normally, as it is said for ordinary people, because it is very difficult for them to renunciate, so for them, karma creates their fortune. And with whatever attitude they have done that karma, so the line of fortune cannot be that much clear. But when it is done with the feeling of renunciation, an elevated action is performed, then you see the line of fortune is so clear and so beautifully rising, enabling us to attain that fortune in a most beautiful way. So we all know that once Baba was giving us a course on renunciation. As such, I was also thinking that in the world also there were many who became renunciates, who became monks, who became sannyasis. But their renunciation was more at a physical level. Just as Guru Nanak Dev sacrificed his life, he sacrificed his complete self for a betterment. Similarly, Mahatma Buddha was also a great renunciate. And it is said that his father thought he should not be shown of any of the evil things in the society or in the kingdom, because there was a clear prediction that he may renounce the entire kingdom and everything. So a renunciate is not just for those who don't have anything and they have renounced. That is not a great thing. But those who have all the facilities, all the things, and still if they renounce, that is something great. And this is what Mahatma Buddha did. He had the entire kingdom. He was the only child. And so he had everything with him, but still he renounced everything, became a great renunciate, and he spent his time in a worthwhile way. He spent his breath in a worthwhile way. He spent his complete body, organs, and everything, senses, for the upliftment of many people. But when Shiv Baba comes to earth, he takes us into the depths of what real renunciation is. And when Baba gave that course in 1982 of the various levels of renunciation, and in that, the first thing he mentioned was, when a person renunciates, that means to let go of everything and every situation, step away from the feeling of anything belonging to you, and to finish your rights to it. So the first is how we need to renounce the consciousness of this body. Means to melt that ego completely. That is the first step, renouncing the body consciousness. And let not the intellect be attracted to this physical body, not even in the thoughts. That is the first renunciation. Where no senses, physical senses, attract you towards themselves, the physical senses will stop you from belonging to the Father. That is what Baba mentioned. So that was the first step of renunciation, renouncing the body consciousness, that I, the ego, and the feeling of my. That is the first step of renunciation. The second step of renunciation, which Baba mentioned, was that how we need to renounce that which is connected to the body also. So what is connected to the body? Renouncing body consciousness. But once we have done that, we need to renounce that which is connected to the body, and that is the senses, the physical senses. Because the senses, they distract the mind. The physical senses get attracted here and there on small things also. And that is when it is very difficult for us to have control on it. And in that, Baba reminded us of a story, an amusing story, that when you try to remove one, another one comes. And he said that once the mouse is there and the person brings a cat to remove the mouse, now the cat is disturbing, then you bring a dog. And this is how a person gets trapped, entangled, and gets frustrated finally. Similarly, we try to remove some evil thoughts, something else comes in, some old sanskaras, they start playing games. And this is how we get entangled and we come down from that throne of soul consciousness. And immediately we are trapped. So Baba says that you need to let go of that as well. So the second step of renunciation is renouncing that which is connected to the body, and what is connected to the body, it is the senses, the physical senses. So the first renunciation is the renunciation of the consciousness of the body. The second is the renunciation of the connections of the body, and that is the physical senses. So we need to conquer the physical senses, which again and again take us back in that direction. And the third step is of the relations of people with the body. That is lockic and alockic relations. Both type of relations. Either in those relations what happened, either there is dislike or there is attachment. So dislike and attachment, when there is attachment, there is a dependency upon it. So both of them have to be renounced. So the third step in lockic and alockic, either a person is living in the center or in the lockic homes. But that which we are all connected with is either lockic relations or alockic relations. And in lockic relations also, that attitude of disliking people on the basis of maybe whatever they are doing or their actions or maybe their feelings, what they hold, on the basis of some past. And when we hold on to it, naturally there is a dislike. Or we are attached. We come under the dependency of that person on the basis of their virtues or whatever good qualities they have. So that makes us attract towards them. So this also has to be renounced. So this is the third step of renunciation. Then the fourth step of renunciation is on the basis of the physical actions. What we do is we either perform elevated actions or wasteful, sinful actions. So Baba says that you have to renounce there as well. We have to renounce the wasteful, sinful actions and perform elevated actions. You have to be conquerors of sinful actions because they create a karmic account. And this karmic account sometimes binds us in such a way that it is difficult for us to get out of the clutches of it. And this, Baba normally gives an example that just as when we were not Brahmins, but when we took this determined thought of becoming a Brahmin, that determined thought then immediately gave us that strength, gave us that courage to let go of all those things which we were doing, thinking it is. And so we were so much indulged in a natural way, mocking people, laughing at people, maybe trying to do certain actions which really disturb people. So Baba says anything that is connected with the body, the physical senses, without the renunciation of performing sinful actions, we cannot be ones who can perform pure actions. So Baba says you need to let go of, just as a royal person from a royal family, how would he do all his actions? Similarly, we are also the most highest on high Father's children. So how should be our actions? Each and every actions that we perform should not even be ordinary. Sometimes we say, well, there was no intention. We were just chatting like that. We were just talking like that. We had no other intentions. But in that also, Baba says you're wasting your time. And when we waste our time, we are not performing elevated actions. And so that line of fortune, even immediately in this life also, will not give us the experience of happiness and power. Will not enable us to create that zeal and enthusiasm in ourselves. Will not allow us to remember Baba, because our actions, the sinful actions, wasteful actions, ordinary actions, will bring us down. Will not allow our intellect to just get uplifted. And so Baba says you need to renounce ordinary actions, words, time, and become constantly powerful, so that you become multi-million times fortunate. So this is the fourth level. The fourth level where we need to renounce all the ordinary, wasteful, and sinful actions completely. Why? Because Baba says that you are the heroes and heroines of this world drama. So each and every second, each and every thought, each and every word, each and every actions is valuable like a diamond. And when we waste them, it is like wasting or losing those precious diamonds that we have. And then we may be saying, oh, I had no intention. It was just for a few minutes that we just sat and talked here and there. It was just like that. So Baba says this language also it's not appropriate. So that is the fourth level. Then Baba said the fifth level is where I need to become a renunciate or a great renunciate. And renunciation means those on the basis of knowledge and yoga, temporary attainments that we do on the basis of our old relationships and old connections of the world. We've adopted this Brahmin life and we are happy with it. But we have not completely transformed our old relationships, old thoughts, old sanskaras. And we are constantly battling with them. So complete transformation is not experienced in our life. So Baba says, in order to be greatly fortunate, we need to bring that courage and stop the carelessness that is in our sanskars, and the love for comfort in life. We have to definitely give that up. Just as I was reading something, and beautifully it said that the cricketers, especially those who are athletics in any field like football or whichever athletic games, and in order to be a topper, to claim that gold medal or silver medal, I was reading the experience of a sister who got a silver medal in India in our Rio Olympics. So she was sharing her experience that in order to get that silver medal, it was like 4 years of her efforts she put in, and 4 years she sacrificed her best food, she sacrificed her best movies, she gave up her mobile. She said, I did not use a mobile for 4 years because I did not want to get distracted. So I did not keep any mobile with me. Means no WhatsApp, no Instagram, no Twitter, no Facebook, nothing of that sort. So when a person has this determination of being top of the world to claim that gold medal or silver medal, how much they have to sacrifice. So when I was going through this Baba's Murlis, I was feeling how much we should sacrifice in order to be a great renunciate. So just renunciation is not enough. But to be a great renunciation, we have to sacrifice so many things. We need to have the power to face all obstacles, and the carelessness of moving along with comfort, loving comfort, we need to give up that in order to be a great renunciate. If I can't do that, then we can't be a Mahatyagi, a great renunciate. And Baba has beautifully defined that great renunciates are those who constantly have the courage and enthusiasm to transform the relationships, thoughts, and sanskaras. And they constantly detach from the old world and old relationships. Beautifully, Baba has said that they never come into this wrong form of intoxication, but whatever they do, the wrong form of I have done this, I have done that, this is mine, because this also becomes the golden chain that binds us. And in that Murli also Baba had mentioned the beautiful, amusing story that of a parrot. The parrot is sitting on that branch, holding on to that branch, and whoever passes by would say, please, free me from this branch, free me from this branch. And everybody would laugh at him and say, you have hold on to that branch. The branch is not holding you. Similarly, we have created our own golden chains that bind us, fire and mind. And we do not want to free ourselves from those old bondages and the activities, also the old types of activities, the activities of the worldly relations and businesses, and the activities connected with your body or even with service. So that is what we need to let go of, so that we become completely detached and we do not get trapped in any sort of attachment to the services also. So that is what Baba means by being a great renunciate. To become a great donor, to become a benevolent soul, and completely become like the Father. Baba mentioned here that we do not have to pull souls to ourselves. and make them trapped in our name and form. Many a times Baba says that some brothers and sisters, they say that, well, we did not want anyone, but they feel that I have to take care of them. They feel as if I am a very good person who can give them that sustenance, that spiritual sustenance also. So Baba says, whom are you attracting them to? Are you attracting them to yourself or to Baba? Whom are you attracting to? So don't make other souls also get trapped in your name and form, but make them also go towards Baba so that they realize what Baba wants them to be like. And then the last step of this course of renunciation, where Baba said, who is a complete renunciate? So one is a renunciate, second is a great renunciate, and the third is a complete renunciate. And these are the differences between the three. The first one, renunciate, would still battle, trying to give up that consciousness of the body. In the great renunciate, they will feel as if it is something where they have to be able to come out of those golden chains also, those feelings of connecting people to themselves, but being a great donor, a bestower of blessings. But when Baba talks about being a complete renunciate, then Baba reminds us that when Brahma Baba attained that state of perfection, and he became like Sarvanshatyagi, complete renunciate. And in that he reminded us of those three steps: to become incorporeal, to become voiceless and egoless. So being detached from the physical form, although being in the corporeal body, to be constantly incorporeal in thoughts, and to be souls who are constantly detached and loving to the Father. Then the second one, he said, egoless in words, to have that spiritual sweetness and humility. And the third thing that he mentioned was to be voiceless in action and all physical senses, that is, to have the personality of complete purity. So that is complete renunciate. And then Baba mentioned that through each and every sense organ also, how he becomes a great donor and the bestower of blessings through all the physical senses also. Through the forehead, reminds people of the original identity. With spiritual drishti, as normally Baba mentioned in the Sakar Murli also, that in one eye there is home and in the other eye it is the kingdom. So giving a signal towards that. Then through the words, giving the clear understanding, the expansion of the Creator and its creation, and becoming elevated Brahmins. Through the hands, becoming the bestower of blessings, as to become constantly easy yogis and karma yogis. And with the lotus feet, follow the Father at every step and give blessings of accumulating that income of multi-millions in every step. So by giving a special experience to everyone, when we become the bestower of blessings, we give a special experience through each and every sense organs, and to give them a signal to lead a viceless life. So these three things is very clearly visible in a complete renunciate. Three, a special experience through each and every sense organs to lead a viceless life. Then Baba gave 4 more signs of a complete renunciate, and that is that no action should be performed in the influence of any vices. Always one who has the speciality of being a world benefactor and bestower, and constantly consider himself to be responsible of bringing benefit to transform situations, for making weak ones powerful by using his own power and transform the atmosphere and attitude. And then Baba says he becomes like a holy swan, always visualizing or being the embodiment of virtues and visualizing virtues in each and every one, rather than seeing the weaknesses, but always having that attitude of seeing or having that vision and attitude of seeing the virtues of everyone. And then the third sign that Baba mentions about a complete renunciate is he considers himself to be responsible in every task and creating the task of transforming any atmosphere of weaknesses or wastefulness. He considers himself to be an embodiment of unlimited support and considers it to be his responsible, thinking that it is my family and I am an instrument. So considering himself to be an instrument for all those whom he sees, those who have some weaknesses, so trying to help them, giving them a support so that they are also able to just boost up in their efforts. And feeling this as this is my family. He becomes like a tree, an imperishable tree, with all instant and practical fruits, and constantly being the embodiment of fruit and giving, let that fruit be shared by everyone. And being constantly in that stage of manmana, constantly in the remembrance of the Father. So that is the sign of a complete renunciate. So when I was going through this signs, and I was looking at myself also, and realized that yes, we need to buck up in our efforts, especially we are doing a lot of service, and Baba has given us this time especially for our efforts, so that each and every child can look at themselves, go within, and whatever is remaining for that final image to be revealed in front of the world, so that we can become those images and glorify Baba through our form and our activities. There is still some distance remaining, and we need to cover up that distance. Just as for Brahma Baba, in the last 6 months, 6 to 8 months, it is said that there was a young girl who came to Baba, small girl of 12 years age, very innocent. And when Baba gave her drishti, she went into trance, and there she saw the complete image of Brahma Baba, the complete angelic form. And when she came down, she was asked by Baba, what did you see? So she said, Baba, there was another Baba up there. It was so bright and so nice. And Baba said, what about me? She said, that light is not seen in me yet. And that is when Baba started making deep, intense efforts. After 6 months, again she was called, and she went in trance. Again, so she came in, and then she said, still a little difference is remaining. Again, Baba put intense effort. And after 3 months, when she was called again, she realized this Baba has merged in that form. And she was about to speak when Baba said, no, don't speak. Because Baba did not want to create an atmosphere that Baba will no longer be here, so that the family may try to pull Baba through their thoughts. But she realized that as if this form is now merging into that form. And this is what Baba's desire is, because our perfect form is also there. And we also need to let go of all those small things which are holding us, are trying to pull us back in our efforts, which is not allowing us to free ourselves and fly. So Baba says that when Baba gave this course, Baba's intention was to see each and every child as a complete renunciate, so that we benefit everyone, and in benefiting others, we benefit ourselves also, and become like the Father, become equal to Him, become like Him in such a way that anybody can see Baba's image through my physical form, where I become an instrument to glorify Baba. So when Baba says that you need to become a renunciate, renunciating body consciousness, the feeling of I and mine, the attraction to the senses, attraction to the body and bodily relationships, and in our actions, still ordinary, wasteful, sinful actions also are there, which does not allow us to elevate, so that we become a great renunciate and finally reach that stage of complete renunciation. And so the depth of Baba's knowledge is so much. That's why I said sacrifice is more at a physical level, where Baba also sacrificed himself when he created this sacrificial fire. And then he became a complete renunciate. So we also in the first step, we need to sacrifice at a physical level, and gradually then we are able to get out of the clutches of this physical form, physical image, and what we are surrounded by. And this is how we actually are able to uplift our attitude. Once Jagdish Bhai, when he was addressing to all the nivasis, Madhuban nivasis, he said one is renunciation, but the other is the attitude of renunciation. He mentioned that very beautifully. And he said that sometimes renunciation becomes easy for us. We let go of some things easily. But constantly having that attitude of renunciation is a great thing. And this is what Baba expects from us. That attitude of renunciation always. Not only when we are aware of something, so we renunciate, we become a renunciate, but constantly having that attitude of renunciation is going to give us that very high fortune, and we are entitled to receive that failure fortune without any obstacles, without any hindrances, in a beautiful way. Okay. Om Shanti. Any questions?
Yeah. Thank you, Didi, immensely for giving your insights on the difference between sacrifice and renunciation, and also taking us through the journey of the levels of sacrifice of renunciation. There are a few questions. The first question is vairagya, as you told, an attitude of vairagya, is it necessary to develop renunciation?
Yes, yes. Um, Beautifully, Baba has said that first we need to have that vairagya, or the disinterest. The unlimited disinterest has to be there, because then only we will be able to uh, have renunciation, complete renunciation. If there is no vairagya, if there is no disinterest, and we are still interested in all the worldly things and this and all the physical things, and our eyes are pulled by all those physical things, it is very difficult for us to become a great renunciate.
Okay, the second question is that in our work life, we know that fortune is connected to renunciation, but sometimes it's very difficult to do renunciation. So she's wanting to know that can you give us some two words or one-liner sentence which I can write down in my diary and keep seeing that and memorize and motivate myself to develop renunciation?
One-liners in what?
One-liners which will help me in motivating to do renunciation, because I'm so busy with work life, I can't develop renunciation. Yeah.
Uh, One-liner, I would say that we need to have a constant awareness of it. When there is awareness, that awareness will definitely pull us again and again into it. That awareness will help us. If the awareness is not there, then we will be easily pulled by the world here and there, wherever, whatever I see, I'll be pulled by it, because there is no awareness. So Baba always tells us that constantly develop that awareness, stay in that consciousness of the self, be soul conscious. The more I am able to develop this awareness of soul consciousness in myself, definitely renunciation, or it will be easy for me to give up things. I won't be able to, means the disinterest will be easy.
Okay, so I think the sister has got that one word would be I am a soul to practice soul consciousness, one liner.
Consciousness,
Thank you.
having this awareness constantly.
Yeah. Someone is asking, please explain about how to get rid of bodily sufferings and to be in Ashariripan, that is the bodiless stage, for a longer time.
Well, we need to develop this practice for a long time. If it is not that at that moment it will be easy for us, but if we have a constant practice since some time, a longer time, then it will be easy for us to become detached from the body at the time of illnesses. Otherwise, it is going to be very difficult, because we are still so much attached to the body. So practice has to be done since long. Means,
Okay.
though for those who have recently come, they may think of time, but for a long time, means, uh, mm, like during the day when I am practicing bodiless stage while traffic control is going on. supposing. So see how much time I can remain in that bodiless state when the 3-minute song is being played. Is it complete 3 minutes that I am able to experience that state? That is the length of the time. Or 1 minute I'm able to be bodiless, and the next minute I am like again pulled by any noises of the surroundings and we get distracted. So I have to increase the length of time. Given those who have recently come to Baba, but practice in such a way that the length of time goes on increasing as we practice this, because it needs a practice. It needs practice. Without practice, it's not going to happen.
So practice and practice makes you perfect. Thank you.
Yes, because at the time of illnesses or at the time of karma bhog, the body is really going to pull us.
Okay, and there's
Really
one
going to practice.
yeah, thank you. And there's a last question, a very beautiful question from a working professional. How to distinguish between desire and goal with respect to working for a desire versus to reach a worthwhile goal? So how to distinguish that? Is it really my desire or is it my just goal which I have to work for that? So this,
Logic work?
yes, logic work, yes.
Okay. Well, I would say that desire to work, because if there is desire to work, then definitely in order to fulfill that desire, sometimes we come in the state of upheavals also. So let it be a goal. Well, this is also a responsibility because I have to sustain the family. So that is the goal of my life. And I have to fulfill my actions in a detached way, and we will be able to do it perfectly. But when I do it with that desire, achieving more and getting more, then maybe small things also will disturb my inner state of mind.
Okay. And there's this last question, interesting one. It is about Christ said that he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. So please explain. Is it like if we want to achieve God, should we lose something to us to achieve him?
Yes, we need to lose our body consciousness. That's the basic thing, isn't it? Well, he did not. He gave up his body, but Baba says you don't need to give up your body, but at least give up your body consciousness, which
Right.
is really hard, and that is what we have to give up.
So
So,
thank
in
you so
order to
much.
achieve God, definitely the most nearest and dearest to each and every one is that ego, that I. And we are constantly after fulfilling that I, constantly, where we are constantly like sustaining that I, sustaining that ego. So that has to be given. If I want to walk on this path to reach God, definitely I have to give up that. Not physical body, but it is more than the physical body, I would say.
Yes. So now I would request Didi to take us into the depths of meditation on renunciation. And I would request all of you all to be around. After the meditation, we'll be doing a few announcements for 1 minute. So over to Didi for a meditation on this. Thank you.
Okay. So be relaxed. Sit in a relaxed manner. And focus on the sparkle on your forehead. Completely detach yourself from this physical self. Feel the lightness in you. And with the power of your thoughts, with the power of your mind and intellect, let us go on this journey towards our home, the divine world. With your mind's eye, visualize yourself as a beautiful, sparkling star near Shiv Baba, the seed and as I focus my attention on the supreme light, I allow Baba's light and might to just flow I recharge myself I feel completely relaxed, recharging,
I think we have lost Usha Didi. So I'll just, in the meantime, do the last bit. I'll just share my screen and do the future announcements. So all of you just bear with me a couple of minutes. I'm sure you can see the screen. Anu sister, you can just give me a heads up. Yeah. So as you can see, we covered today about sacrifice and renunciation, and we'll be churning and doing a few exercises just for 1 hour on Saturday, 5th December. If you can note down the Zoom ID, 869 7398 5023. And after a fortnight, again we meet for another value, that is acceptance, which is on Sunday, 13 December, same time. And the Zoom ID is mentioned. You can also note it down if you want. It will be circulated to you as well. 925 2808 7710, and it will be without a password. And for people who have missed, who are not able to join for the live sessions, you can please feel free to watch it on the YouTube live at omshanti.tk/values. And for more such information on values, you have a lot of information available on www.vihasa.in. This program is being telecasted through the Zoom of Vancouver. So that's vancouver.brahmakumaris.ca. And you can reach out to us through email and WhatsApp. The email is vihasaindia@gmail.com. And the WhatsApp, if you need any help related to these programs, you can feel free to WhatsApp on 9960 130 234. So thank you so much, all of y'all, and wish you a good night in India and good evening in other parts, and maybe good morning and good afternoon to different time zones. Thank you. Om Shanti.